Hello, LinkedIn. Me again. So, you've seen that I've been mega excited to have this lady on the show. Right, and we'll talk about Claire in a second, but I've been so excited because she's a powerhouse behind everything that's going on in Ayrshire. It's absolutely amazing. This is we're saying about making Ayrshire great again. Claire's making Ayrshire great again, but we'll go into all the stuff that she's doing to make Ayrshire great again in a minute. So, as always, what we do first, Claire. Have you watched the show, Claire?
I have.
Excellent. Nice. You know, it's just all go. So we say a big shout out. So we're going to talk about our sponsors first, Grow. So I've actually got 2 cakes today. I don't know how Andrew, how did I end up with 2?
Unsure.
He's unsure. So there's a honeymoon slice and then some chocolatey thing with a bueno thing on it. Right, so I'm taking that off anyway. Right, thank you. Amelia for the thumbs up. And what you got, Claire?
I've got a wee...
A wee strawberry tart. Up a wee bit, Claire, up a wee bit.
A massive strawberry tart.
So, is it your daughter, you said?
Yeah, I'll not eat that, so I'll take it home to my daughter. She loves the strawberry tart.
Claire's not eating it, so her daughter, I don't know if she's watching the show, but if she is, she's going to get a nice wee surprise when you get in. Also, a big shout out to Bold Mango Media, as always, making all this thing happen. We were a wee bit late coming on the day, right, because there's a bit of a story behind it. Because poor Andrew was coming back with the coffees and the cakes, and some idiot in a Mini Cooper ran him off the road. So we're lucky to even be here the day, Claire, aren't we? Well, we were already here, so we just sat here and just kept gabbing.
Chatted anyway, but it's all right. Andrew's okay, so yes. I'm glad to hear him.
So there's no one hurt, but we did lose 2 coffees. So I've not got my coffee today is spilt. And what's your cup saying? Does it just say Grow?
Yeah, it just says Grow.
Right. Good. So let's get started, Claire. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Well, I don't know whether I thank you for inviting me. I've been dreading this all week. But and thanks for those kind words. I don't really... that doesn't resonate with what I think of me, but that was very kind of you to say that.
But I do, because I obviously, since coming back up here, and then since joining the Chamber, and we'll go on and you can tell everybody what the Chamber does, but I obviously, and this is nothing against anybody before, but for me, the Chamber was just another one of these things. Mm-hmm. For me now, the Chamber is an instrumental part of what we do as a business and what we're trying to do with the community wealth building and everything else. So I think the Chamber has now become like the community hub for Ayrshire, where you've now got traction, people talking, lots and lots of companies starting to look at the Chamber as a support channel. I see it now as a real key part of everything that's going on in Ayrshire. So maybe you don't see it like that, but that's me, what I see it from the outside, is what you're doing within the Chamber is making a massive difference in what we're doing in this community. So anyway, I'm not going to keep making you give a big head, right? So tell us about the Ayrshire Chamber, what you do, what it's all about, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, yeah. So there's quite a lot of misconceptions about Ayrshire Chamber, about what people think we are. They think we're public sector funded, which we're not. They think we're just for, big organisations or big corporates. They think it's a lot of men in suits, which it's not. If you've ever been into our office, that's absolutely not the case. But we are a private sector organisation. We're a not-for-profit organisation. What we do everything that we do is for the benefit of, or we would like to think it's for the benefit of our members. We have served the business community for 78 years, which is, I think we're really proud of that. I don't think many, other business organisations, maybe I'm wrong, but, can say that, especially locally, I would say.
Yep.
Our membership covers a span, all sizes and all sectors. We do have self-employed people right up to the big corporates, but the majority of our membership is small to medium-sized enterprises, because that is the makeup of Ayrshire. So it makes sense that that is the majority of our membership. We've got just under 820 members, which makes us the largest non-city chamber. And again, that's something that we're really really
Come on, Ayrshire.
proud of, and a whoop. But we're also British Chambers accredited, so we're one of 51 chambers across the UK to be accredited to British Chambers. We're one of 30 affiliated to Scottish Chambers of Commerce,
Right.
and being accredited and affiliated to those organisations really provides more benefits and services to our members, but it also makes sure that they are constantly having conversations with UK and Scottish government. So it's allowing us to do more of that policy and lobbying. So that's really important. And I suppose to build on that, we've also being associated with those organisations means that we have got our strapline as, connecting locally, nationally and internationally. So there's 12,000 chambers across the world.
Is there?
So that makes us, a really credible and influential business, one of the most credible and influential business organisations. So, and I think Ayrshire, really punch above our weight and play a big part in that. We are contracted by the two, North and South Ayrshire to deliver the Schools Work Experience programme and expand employers in our local schools, but also the host organisation for developing the young workforce, which is a Scottish Government initiative to expand employer involvement in local schools and make sure young people are transitioning well into the world of work, and also supporting businesses to develop a talent pipeline. And we think it's really important as a Chamber of Commerce to be within that world, because that's one of the main issues that businesses, see it's skills. How do they get skills? The recruitment challenges and things. So if you're not currently involved in that, a lot of people say, what the kids learning in school these days. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Come and offer a work experience placement, get into school, and input directly into the curriculum. Because I remember being at school thinking, why on earth are you learning this? But we need businesses to come in, add relevance in real life to what young people are learning in the classroom, so that they're able to say, that's something I want to do in the future. Or when they're sitting in an exam thinking, I remember that guy come in and told me about that. So it's just adding relevance in real life to what they're doing, and that will support, career pathways and things as well. But also gives businesses an opportunity to say, come and work in my sector. So that's a really important part of what we do as well. I mean, our main aim is to support businesses, but also to support the region to grow.
See that, what you said there about obviously the developing young workforce and stuff like that, and companies actually giving something back, right? I am a massive advocate of that. Because you hear it all the time. With people, things that come out of the schools are crap, blah blah blah. All right, go and do something about it. Yeah, go and try and help.
100%.
We did it with the college, and we've obviously put ourselves forward to do it with for STEM subjects in some of the schools. And what you're doing is you're creating a bit of an interest. So there's so many benefits you get, as you say. One, you can try and help get kids to say, even if it's not in their school curriculum, it's something that they can then learn at night or do something. And now they look up YouTube for everything. So say it's stuff that we're talking about. We're saying, say vibration analysis, for example. We would go in and we did a thing up in Barhead for some of the schools, and we were showing them all about vibration analysis and how it all worked and all this kind of stuff. And this was kids ranging from 4 to probably 16. And young Evan actually, who's actually getting through for the Apprentice of the Year, so he was actually teaching them and showing them a vibration analysis, and we're getting to hit it with a hammer and all this kind of stuff. And we had a thermal gun, and we were like putting our hands on the table and putting the thermal gun in. And so it was doing all these things. Right?
But that's interesting, doesn't it? That's how you learn better, by doing these things, rather than classroom-based activities.
They loved it. Claire, honestly, they loved it. And obviously young Evan there teaching all these young kids that, absolutely loved it. But what they're all going, so they're away going, I'm going to go and look at it up on YouTube, right? So it's a different way of learning now, but they're still going, I've got an interest in that. I like engineering type things. I like looking at how things work, and then they're away learning it. And then what that does is, one, gives them an interest. It's not just boring, and obviously I used to like maths, but it's not just boring maths and all that kind of stuff, subjects. They're going, all these things actually count towards that, and I want to do that. So being able to get people to give back, because what we get it in Ayrshire as well, we get it all over the place. Everybody's happy to moan about stuff.
But it's let's do something about it.
Let's do something about it.
100,
So it's always a problem, not the solution.
Yeah.
And obviously not everybody's business is going to go into schools and go and do all these kind of things. But if you really have a need, people are actually willing to listen and see if they can help develop stuff.
I know, and not like education's no for everybody, you know. And it's not to say that they're no good at school, they're no use. You know, that's not the case. Young people, we just need to guide them in a different way to help them develop and identify their talents. You know, not everybody's going to go to uni. Not everybody should go to uni.
No.
You know, I think there's a lot of uni courses in that you're doing them, and there's.
What's the point?
What's the point?
Aye,
The point
where
in
you going with
that,
this?
but vocational education is massive, and apprenticeships
Yep.
and all that. You know, there should be a route for every young person, regardless of, you know, their abilities when they're in school, because it's no for everybody. And some folk just want to go out and work, and, you know, they shine in that environment. And I suppose the whole work experience thing as well, somebody going in a work experience thinking that's what they want to do, but they go there and they think, oh no, that's still a good outcome.
Aye,
because
of
they're
course
still
it is.
young enough to be like, oh God, I thought I wanted to do that, but no, I actually don't. So they change that, you know, what they need to do. So that's important as well. So I would urge anybody who's not currently involved in that work to please get in touch with the team, because it is hugely important. And I mean, it is about that whole cliche, children are the future, that song, and but it's so true. So please get in touch with us.
And I would like it, that's one of the things, obviously, I think we do a good job in Ayrshire, but I think we could do better with regards to the development of the next generation. Obviously, that's the forefront of everything that we do. And we go to the stage where we had too many students and not enough teachers, and then it was hard trying to get the teachers in. But you're seeing a lot of kids, like, kids don't have the opportunities the same. We've spoken about this, I've spoken about this a couple of times on this show, where when I was growing up here, you had the electronics industry, you had this, you had that, you had all these different options. No, you don't. So you need the companies to go, right, do you know what? It might not be the right thing for us just now, but we are going to invest for the future. And we are going to try and develop people that are going to have the skills and the jobs so as they're here for the next 20, 30 years. Because what we've got just now is we've got lots of people that are getting trained up in universities and colleges and that kind of stuff, and they're just leaving.
No, I know there's a massive issue with like depopulation, especially like we're a really rural community, aren't we? And that is a real worry. But as well, I think, you know, remember you used to get Saturday jobs. Young people can't get a job to like develop those skills and qualities, and you know what happened to that? You know, why is that? Because it's really, really important that they get these opportunities, but there's not as many opportunities for folk to get that, or you know, it's
we were
difficult.
sitting talking about it yesterday at dinner. So me, Heather, and her mum and dad were around, because it was her mum's birthday, and we were sitting talking about it at dinner, because Evan, my stepson, he's 17. He's been trying to get a job for 6 months. He's got to sell a car. He's got to sell all that kind of stuff. So he's got to sell ready for that next step in his life. But he can't get a job. So it used to be, when we're talking about when I was younger, I was making money for I was 12.
Like like delivering newspapers and milk,
bacon, milk. You did all these things, but you don't really have that anymore.
No,
I mean, who gets a paper delivered?
Yeah.
So you just don't have the opportunities, and see the life skills that teaches you. Well, not saying you have to do it for your 12, but like 15, 16, 17, 18, it's phenomenal.
The responsibility of getting up, being there on time, I know.
And
but
there's
it's a shame.
even the likes of your McDonald's and all these kind of places where they used to be good for people, they're taking on folk that are in their 20s. Right, that are obviously looking for the work, and those 20s people will to work full time and all that kind of stuff. The people would rather have that than have a young person that can only work after school or Saturdays or Sundays.
And I think with some of the policies, or some of the the changes and like the increase in the living wage, and that, it's driving employers to not look at or overlook young people because they can get somebody at the same rate of pay that is going to contribute quicker and stuff. But we're really, it's going to have a detrimental effect to young people. So
we're seeing that just now. So I've got no problem paying apprentices and stuff like that a good wage, but you bring an apprentice in just now. If you bring in someone that's, to say that they're 18, I think it is, so if somebody that's over 18 in their first year, we're a real living wage employer, right? So that first year apprentice gets paid £12.60 an hour, right? And for 2 maybe 3 years, that person is just a pure
Not
cost.
contributing
It's
to
not
your,
contributing to
I
your
know.
business. That my view, and I've said it for a long time, see for apprentices, see businesses are taking apprentices on, there should be some sort of tax incentive, right? Because see if we don't do something, and I understand why a lot of companies don't do it, because they're just going, we can't afford the investment in time, effort and money in somebody, so we'll just go and get somebody that can do the job.
No, 100%. I mean, I think the economic climate that we're having, like businesses are having to operate in at the moment, is just very, very challenging. I mean, yesterday I think there was the GDP data was published by the ONS,
Right.
and they were the data was better than it was expected, but it was hiding a lot of pain that businesses are feeling, and that's from like the NI increases
100%.
from April, and it's making a real hit on recruitment and investment. And that's, I don't know if you're aware of what the quarterly economic indicator survey that we do alongside like BCC and SCC. It's the largest and longest running survey of business sentiment. So that is backing all that up. Business confidence is remaining really weak because of the national insurance contributions. And I think it was like just under half of respondents were saying that their turnover wasn't going to increase in the next 12 months.
Yep.
They were talking about sales, about putting up prices. And I think 44% were considering putting up prices, but that was versus Q1. That was a spike at 55%. So 55% of folk are going to put up their prices, but there's only there's a limit to what business, how much you can put your prices up by. And then I think as well, like tax is the biggest concern. That's a massive worry for businesses, closely followed by inflation as well. And I mean, all these things, all those conditions that we're having to operate in, it does, you're reducing your head count, you're stopping, investing, you're increasing your prices. And I mean, a thriving economy needs thriving businesses, and the current conditions really are no lending itself to that, and really needs to change.
And I think it's just getting, as you say, it's getting made more difficult to grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
You end up getting to a stage where you're going, I actually don't know if I want to grow. We're no there, but I can understand why companies go, I'm happy enough just with my 10 folk.
Yeah.
Right, my 10 folk, I make money, blah, blah, blah. It's easier to manage, it's less risky. But that person might have had a growth ambition to be 100 at one point.
Yeah.
And they're going, it's just no worth the grief.
No, I know.
And the risk. And it's one of the things that I think is going to end up happening. I think unemployment's going to end up going through the roof. I still don't think we've really seen it yet. But we're talking about there, you've got these younger people that can't even get a Saturday job, right? They're then going to be leaving school and they're going to be struggling to get a job, right? Because the jobs aren't there. So I think, and I did see some stats on the unemployment, and I don't know, there's still a bit of me that's going, if these stats are right, there's something masking something, because I'm just seeing it getting worse. Yeah,
I know. No, it's really worrying, and I don't think we've seen the impact of those national insurance increases. I think it's still to play out. So it'll be interesting to watch that. But and I mean, the economic inactivity as well that we've got in Ayrshire is not great. And how do we tackle that and try and get those that have maybe got health conditions or how do we support them more into work? But that's really resource intensive and everything. But we can't be forgetting another generation of young people either.
We're going to end up in the same situation as we've been in.
There needs to be a balance and a look at all that. But I don't suppose there's any easy solutions, because if there was, it would have been done a while ago. But I think there's a bit of an opportunity though with the Scottish elections coming up next year. So we really need to be, a strong business voice sitting and making our voice heard, and being able to input into those, like the manifestos about what business needs. There's maybe a bit of an opportunity there, and already we're speaking to Scottish Chambers of Commerce to make sure that Ayrshire's at that table, and and we will be doing some sessions with businesses and things to feed into that. I think that's really, really important. And I think it's like going back to that whole quarterly economic indicator survey thing. It's really important that businesses input into these things, because if we need robust data to be able to lobby governments to say, sometimes they're maybe not, it feels like they're not listening at the moment. They listen, but they don't actually action things.
It's in one ear and out the other.
But we still need it, and I think some businesses kind of say, "Oh, you know, why do we bother?" But I think it's maybe even more important now to let's have a collective voice and make sure we are inputting into these things, because if we don't, then change is never going to happen. So we need to do it. So the next, I think the field work for the next quarterly economic indicator, I think it's the 18th of August. So if anybody's following our social media platforms and stuff, then you will see it. And you don't need to be a chamber member to input into that. We just want to get all businesses to input into that, because all business voice is, important to us. So do you have you done that before?
I've done it. I've done it a few times. I don't know if I did the last one, but I've definitely did it a few times. It's no difficult. It's
I don't know how long it takes, but
it's no long. It's no long.
But
I've done a few. I've done your ones, and I do all the ones that come from North Ayrshire and all that kind of stuff. Because back to so I've obviously got views, and I think things could be improved.
Yeah.
But I'm not just going to sit there and moan about it. If I'll put my views over, and if somebody listens, great. If they don't, they don't. But I think what you're saying with regards to the whole kind of Scottish government, I've always said that the government needs to have business people in their ear, right?
Yeah. Or actually somebody that's come from a business background as a minister.
That's actually got the power to at least be sitting at that table and having that conversation and give that business view on things. Because the decisions that you see getting made, I don't see business at the forefront of very many of them.
No, I know.
And but guess what? See, all the businesses, that's who pays all their wages. Yeah. That's who pays everything that goes on in this country is the taxpayer. So why not focus on, well, I say it all the time, I say it in the regional stuff here, is the best way to grow your economy is by giving people good, well-paid jobs, right? Let's focus on trying to build the businesses so the businesses can give people more good paid jobs.
Who are going to pay tax?
Yep, who are going to pay tax, who are then going to spend their money in the local economy.
Then grow jobs.
Grow jobs, they'll be healthier, right? Yeah. Because you've got, so when, I don't care what anybody says, see when somebody's in a job that they like, they're healthier, right? So there's less burden in the NHS, you're potentially getting lots of people off of benefits. It just makes total sense.
No, I know.
But why does other people don't see it?
It doesn't seem to be like rocket science, but it seems to be very hard to do. And I know it's complex and there's, lots of stakeholders and stuff involved, but I sometimes think about governments, if you ran your business like that, you wouldn't be in business.
Yeah, so one, you'd either be sacked or you'd be skint. But again, this is where they're not playing with their own money, their own lives, their own everything else like that. So I think for me, and obviously I'm happy to sit and have a discussion with any politician anywhere and give my views, because I'm looking at it from a guy that's just a normal guy, right? And see,
but you're running a business and you're creating jobs and you're contributing to the local economy, so you've got stuff to say. It's not as if you don't have any.
But I don't just think of about it as a business owner. I'm talking just if I was one of my staff or just the somebody that was working for someone else, what would make my life better and what would benefit the normal everyday person? No, the real high flyers or anything like that, but there's all these things, like I know people, we discussed this, see the post-COVID element to so many people and their mental health that's just completely drained and done. But see if we could get those people into a job, that takes away so much of that. Yeah. And I know there's reasons behind a lot of it that they're not, but just getting somebody in a job that they like makes so many things so much easier. No. So why not go and invest in the people who are trying to create jobs, to give these people jobs?
I know, anyway. But I think we don't really understand, and I've spoken about this before, we don't understand the growth ambitions of our businesses in Ayrshire. If we did, you could, we know this sector's going to grow and is going to create this number of jobs by, 2030 or something. If we understood that, then you need to know where you're going to be able to build a plan to be, we've got a regional college, we've got a university on our doorstep, but we don't fully know, what the growth ambitions of our business community are. And if we did know that, then we could work backwards to be able to, work with the economic and, the economically inactive, or those people that they're not in jobs, or the young people, you're going to need so many apprentices by that date, so you're going into the schools and raising awareness, and it doesn't seem
that's do you know, see what you've just said there? I think that is an absolute brilliant thing. How do we get the ambitions, the growth ambitions from all of the companies in Ayrshire?
I know.
So how do we do that? Because that is a fantastic point, because it could, I mean, I know obviously we're looking to double year on year, we're looking to create over 100 jobs here. So that's just us. What about all the other companies?
I know.
Right? And then how do we get all them working together? So as you're going, right, this is what we're going to need. This is what we're going to need. And then tying in with the
and then
college.
that would solve the problem of young people going out, because I think young people leave because they don't actually understand the opportunities. But if we had that data, then you would be getting into schools and you'd be saying, right, and you're leaving in 5 years, but these are the opportunities that you could move into in 5 years' time. We're just not, we're not good at it, and we could be much better at it. So I don't know what the answer is, but I absolutely think that is something that we need to get a hold of. And whether do we start with a sector? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I do feel there's definitely more that we could be doing and working better to understand that.
Because it's like a growth strategy, but it's a growth strategy for the region rather than individual companies.
Yeah. I know.
I wonder who could drive that.
I mean,
I reckon the chamber could drive.
I know. Yeah, but you need resource to do that as well, though, don't you? But I mean, there is the whole regional economic strategy that's kind of looking at that. So it's kind of in early stages. So hopefully some of that will come out of that. And I know there's, Alistair Dobson is the chair of that group, and they'll come stakeholders involved in that, try to make things happen. But I think we're just stages of that, because we do want to make Ayrshire a good place to live, work, invest and visit, so there is stuff going on behind the scenes, I suppose, but probably not quick enough or fast enough as we would like to see. But hopefully some of that will come out of that.
The thing I would say though is, but it's, how do we get to the people that don't engage with all these things? Because obviously I'm now kind of involved in part of these, and I get invited to things, and I go to the events, but it's all the same companies.
Yeah.
Right? So we know what's going on with those companies. How do we then get engagement from the companies that are maybe doing great things, but they either don't know about what's going on, or it's not something that's really part of their plan?
I suppose I think it's about championing doors and like getting, using, like, you'll have networks that are not engaged in any of that work. There'll be businesses that have got different networks, and I think it's about a collective responsibility, really, about everybody taking their turn to say, actually, you need to feed into this, because there's been employer surveys and skills done before, and the response really isn't that great. But I think you get survey fatigue and all that, but maybe people don't understand why does this matter to me. And I think a lot of businesses are just head down, try to keep the lights on, try to keep the doors open as well, and it's difficult, but I think it's maybe having somebody to be able to go out and explain why this is important, or collectively can we get other businesses to do that, because I don't think it's not one organisation is going to make a difference. It's going to be, there's many organisations that need to get involved to make a difference, and there is lots of good stuff going on, but I don't know how
a
you do it.
referral scheme.
Yeah.
So there we go. We'll go and ask Gordon at Grow that if he'll give anybody that refers 10 other businesses today this survey a free cake.
Definitely, something like that. I know. Who knows?
But it needs to be a what's in it for them, and that's just, so I kind of preach about a lot of these things, but I do also understand. I mean, we've gone through just now. We're that busy that you're head down, ass up, and you're just trying your hardest to make sure that everything keeps going, and you're trying to grow, and you're trying to do all this, and you're trying to do all that. So sometimes you're going, do you know what? I've not got time for that. That'll go on the tomorrow list, and then
it falls down even further and even further, and then before you know it, you're in a bit of crisis, and you need skills, you need folk, and no, I totally get it, but maybe I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know, is that a role for I don't know.
We'll put Alistair into it.
Economic.
But
Alistair,
Alistair, you watch that show, Alistair. So guess what? Claire and I just put you forward. So you're now the key account manager for every business in Ayrshire to go out and speak to them all and get them on board.
I think he's doing some of that anyway.
I know.
But no, there's more to do, isn't there?
There is. But listen, but that's us talking about the challenges that we've got, right? Let's talk about all the good stuff that we're doing.
All the positive stuff.
Because we're doing lots and lots of good stuff. Right, and I'm going to go and grab my coffee.
Right,
we'll start. Thank you very much. Joy Grow made me do it.
Oh, do they have different things?
So you last week mine said you're beautiful inside and out.
Oh.
So I was just so chuffed with it.
That's nice.
Right, so let's go through some of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I suppose we've got Business Week coming up and the Business Awards, so it might be good to put along with leaflets to show everybody. So Business Week, launches 29th of September to the 3rd of October. So lots of good activity during that week. So please do come along, go on the website and get involved. We've got a launch event on the 29th. So we've got Evelyn MacDonald, the Chief Executive of the Scottish Edge, coming down just to talk about that competition. And I believe you are sitting on the panel as one of the beneficiaries of that. And Craig Johnson, our President and Giglet's Education, he's sitting on the panel as well because he benefited. Now, don't say too much about it. I don't want to steal the thunder of the event, but that's been a really pivotal thing for you, wasn't it? Let's secure
massive.
That.
Oh, massive, as I say. Not just the money. The money was the kind of secondary thing. It was the network. So winning Scottish Edge opened so many doors for us. The money obviously gets spent quite quickly, so it did go well, but the competition, the process as well, is phenomenal because you're having to look at your business through the eyes of someone else, and you learn. I say to everybody, see, even if you're not interested in trying to win it, go through the process because you'll learn so much about your business just going through the process. It's very, very good, and I love Evelyn to bits, love Kevin to bits, love them all to bits. They're a great team. They do so much good stuff, and see the amount of businesses that's helped. It's phenomenal. Like for us, would we have been where we are without them? We would still have got there, but it took us longer. What it's helped us do, it's helped accelerate the kind of growth plan that we were on by both funding a development step within the business, but the network's massive. And I mean, you end up rubbing shoulders with people that you would never ever expect to. And you're sitting, because I've been to events where you're going, and I don't really get imposter syndrome, right? But I can see why people do. Because you're sitting there with people that you've been looking at for years, right, as business leaders and all this kind of stuff in the country, and I'm just a wee guy for Irvine, right? And you're going, bloody hell. But obviously, I don't really get that. I just go, aye, I'm the man. Right? You want to come and hang about with us?
But it's like inspiration though as well. It's good. So it's brilliant that she's coming down to launch the Business Week on the 29th. That's up at Dumfries House from 10 to 12:30. So if you've not.
I mean, surely as a panellist to get your lunch
you might get a lunch. I don't know about everybody else, but I don't actually know. You need to speak to Danielle about that. Then on the 3rd, on the Tuesday, we've got a tourism event. So that's looking to grow at tourism businesses and attract more international investors. So we had international visitors, we had Vicky Miller, Chief Executive of Visit Scotland, down maybe a month and a bit ago. She's taken over maybe last September as Chief Exec of Visit Scotland, and she wants to come down, go across Scotland actually to see, what the regions have to offer. So Ayrshire was our first stop, which was brilliant.
Because she knows we're the best.
And absolutely. And then she
knows where our bread's buttered.
We did a bit of a round table as well, so heard from the challenges and everything facing like the visitor economy. So it turns out that Ayrshire only has 8% of international visitors versus a 26% national average. And she's saying she didn't understand that, because the quality of product that we have in Ayrshire, like your golf courses, your castles, your, the coastline, all that, we should be, doing better than that. So this is, the round table was a bit of a first step, working in partnership with Visit Scotland to see, right, how can we do more to increase that.
To increase international visitors.
International visitors, we know that they stay longer, they spend more. So that's something that would have an impact on the region. It would take a few years, right enough, but if we start pulling things together and getting, like visitor experiences all tied up, and we know from that round table that we had with businesses that there's such a will. Businesses are, want to do more. That it's going to be have a massive impact on them if we get more international visitors, but we just need to get more clever at how we do that, and how do we sell Ayrshire?
It's a typical Scottish saga where you do brilliant things, but you're crap at telling folk.
Aye, I know.
Right? You're just rubbish at selling yourself.
Yeah, so if you are in the visitor economy, please do register and come along to that event on the Tuesday. Then we've got the Deputy Agent for Scotland for the Bank of England coming up. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those sessions. He comes up and he does a bit of looks at the economy, gives a bit of a presentation on what's been happening, and then it's just really open to the room to tell him the challenges that they're facing. Are you looking to grow, invest, recruit, all that?
I go to that then.
What happens is all that information that he gathers from those sessions feeds into the monetary policy committees, like decisions and everything. So that all does the interest rate go up or down or what? So they're really important sessions. That's a members only.
Right. So I've not got my specs on, so I can't see it. So when's that?
On the Tuesday, the 30th, from 12 to 2.
And whereabouts?
Just at the Chamber offices.
I will be there.
But no, they're really good sessions, and I think again, it's like you're feeding it in. It's not just, you're not just talking for talking's sake. It's actually been fed into the decisions that are taken at a UK level. So all good. And then on the Wednesday, we've got the business to business exhibition. So we've got speed networking that's early in the morning. It starts at 8, and then we've got the business to business exhibition. So this year we've got 90 exhibitors.
I think I'm exhibiting that as well.
I don't know. You might be. Hopefully. But no, that's always a really good event. Even if you're just talking between the exhibitors, they get a lot out of it. Good. But last year we had the highest footfall that we've ever had. So hopefully we'll repeat that again. So that's at the Park Hotel, and that's been great. The Park Hotel's done a bit of investment. They took down that big wall.
What, when you walk in the door in the left?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so there's that big wall's been taken down, so that means that we can have more exhibitors. So we're up to 90, so we're all sold out for that. And then we've got an AI workshop with Anderson Strathern, one of our platinum partners, are delivering that. And I think AI is on everybody's lips, but nobody actually knows how to maybe adopt it to increase productivity and stuff. So
we're involved in it constantly. There's constantly conversations going on about it. Obviously, we've got our own AI, which isn't there to help business processes, but see how much more efficient you can make your business by it. So we use ChatGPT and all these kind of things all the time. And the world has just changed so much, and things can say, take an example. I can remember when ChatGPT first came out, I'd spent 2 weeks putting together a marketing strategy. And then I went and put into ChatGPT.
It took you 5 minutes, or 2 minutes.
Two and a bit minutes, and I was raging. Right? But see,
and was it better?
It was there or thereabouts. I wouldn't say it was better because mine was awesome. But it was definitely, it was, put it this way, it was amazing, the similarities and how close it was. So obviously I'd already done mine, then I put in what I was trying to achieve, everything else out of it, and it was almost exactly the same. Yeah. So it's just amazing.
I know, it is. But you always need to put your kind of your voice, to it, don't you? It's good to put it in and then adapt it. You wouldn't
Well, we get it all the time. So I had a presentation that I gave to a purchasing director. I sent it off to him. I went, listen, it's not the most professional thing in the world. I says, but it tells you what we do. And he turned around and went like to me and said, Jamie, I love that. He says, because I can tell that is you and your team speaking,
yeah.
and it's no chat GPT,
Yeah.
right? So it's good to do things that can help your processes and help everything else, but you can't take the personal touch of it.
Definitely
And I'm
not.
going to grass Alana in just now, right? Just to embarrass her. So yesterday's post, Alana sent it to me, and she sent it. I read it, that's absolutely amazing. Did you chat GPT that?
You can tell,
You can't tell.
Aye.
And it was good. But there's some things I think it's amazing for, but there's some things you just like to still have that wee personal touch. So once you put a wee personal touch on it, and she added her right into it, I thought the post was brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's trying to use it for the right reasons. And that's one of the things that I think is tripping people up just now is how can I use that for the right reasons to make my life easier? No taking over, no replacing, but it's just to make it easier.
No, definitely. But again, it's back to that point. Like businesses will just try to keep the lights on, keep
100%.
the doors open, and they actually maybe would benefit from using AI, but they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
They're like, so come along
Brilliant.
to the workshop.
I will. I think we will come along to that as well. Alana, you can go since you're a ChatGPT expert.
Then we've got a networking lunch. Then on the Thursday, we've got the Developing Young Workforce leadership lunch, and this year we are joined by David Smith, who's the chairman of Ayr United.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Look, so I've just had a cheeky message for Alana. Right, sorry, carry on.
What's she saying?
Can
you not read it? Can you not read it out on here? Oh, my site's getting worse. Ha 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 ha! Don't out me like that. Smiley face, no, laughing face emoji.
Sorry, Alana.
So the leadership lunch, we've got David Smith, chairman at Ayr United, and Ashley Bowden and Billy Bowie, chairman of Kilmarnock Football Club, and Billy Bowie Special Projects, I think it is. So they're going to, just that's focused at school children, I was going to say, is that the right word?
Can you see that anywhere?
Young people from school, but also it's open to businesses to come along as well. And I think the investment that David and Billy are making both on and off the pitch,
it's amazing.
Is amazing. And to have two of them doing that in Ayr Town, Ayr and Kilmarnock is, really we should be. It is brilliant what they're doing, and I think the whole community stuff that they do as well, like Ayr United and Kilmarnock Football Club, really can't be underestimated. And I think they're doing a lot of work with schools, but also it ranges like. They're doing stuff for dementia, they've got walking football stuff for older guys, or maybe even women, I don't know. But the amount
it's amazing.
stuff that they're doing in the communities can't be underestimated.
We had the Ayrshire Cancer Support guys in last week, and obviously both of them are contributing massively to all these things. Yeah. And what they give back to the community is just phenomenal.
It is. It really is. So I think that'll be a really good lunch, come along to that, whether you're a young person or a business, because I think you can learn a lot, and they speak really well. So that should be good. Then we've got our AGM on the 2nd, so if you want to come along and hear a bit in depth about what the Chamber's been up to over the last financial year, then come along to that. And then on the Friday we finish with our business
party.
So that's going really well. We'd over 100 applications this year, resulting in 60 odd finalists again. So and we've introduced a couple of new categories. So we merged hospitality and tourism. We introduced a digital innovation and resilience. And again, just going back to what we've kind of talked about, because we took some feedback last year. Some companies were saying none of these categories fit because we are just trying to keep the doors open. Yep. So it was important that we introduced that resilience.
I've seen the resilience one, and it was good to see the people that are on that, because the hospitality and the tourism trade and stuff like that in Ayrshire has taken a complete battering since COVID. So I looked at each one of those companies that were obviously shortlisted for that, and I'm going, do you know what? Every one of them deserves to win that.
Yeah,
that's one of the challenges I think you've got about the Ayrshire Awards, because obviously I'm a judge this year. And see, as a judge, it's an absolute, it's hard as anything.
It really is. But actually, I wanted to touch on that because there are other awards out there, but
No, as good as this, there's no.
they're not. But I wanted to kind of touch on a bit. And because you've now been through like the process and things as well, I mean, they are independently judged, and maybe you can talk us through. I mean, you get the applications, you score them. You know, we don't. The only involvement that we have in scoring and things is next week I'm out all week because I'm chairing, and it's just to make sure that the chairing is a fair and transparent process, and everybody gets the same time, everybody gets the same, you know, kind of questions asked of them. So it'd just be quite interesting for you to take us through the process, because I know that's not what happens with all awards. Like, you nominate yourself, you know, and then it's independently judged. So it would just be good for you.
So the process is as a business, you can obviously nominate your business, yourself, whatever you want. You go through the process, and then obviously I'm now a judge because we're sponsored. So we got all of the applications through. We then looked at them, we then scored them, and then decided who would then go to the next stage. So that was done by myself and another person. So we both independently scored them and then put the scores together to decide who was going to get to the next stage. Then obviously you come in, you take part in your judging interview. That you do kindly facilitate, which obviously last year we had to do. Remember, we had to do 3 one after another. 3 after. Well, 3 again this year, but at least they're in different days. Because last time, because I was going on holiday, wasn't I? So you go in there, you go through the judging process, and then you find out on the night, which is I think is a great way of doing it. Right.
And you don't need to attend on the night. If you are a winner, you still win. You know, there's some out there that if you don't come in the night, you don't. But there has been.
Get to the next person.
But we don't do that. We don't do that.
No, the process is good. As I say, I'll be honest. See, going for it and being a shortlisted, that's easier than judging.
I know it is, because especially things like, you know, how do you differentiate? Because, like, your charities, your community, you can't, how can you say that one charity is better than another? And it's not. I mean, at times, like the judges, it's the tiniest thing that makes, you know, them decide that that's the winner. I mean, it's so close. It's always really difficult.
But we're doing Entrepreneur of the Year, right?
Good.
Every single one of them is entrepreneurial.
I know, you're going. I know.
They're doing real. It's tough. So
they're all winners. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all winners, and I think that's 100%. Why it's really important for us to do. You know, we do the finalist videos and we show them. We show them in advance of the night, because we kind of realise that nobody gets to. If they're not there on the night, then nobody gets to see the good work. So again, we show them in advance of the night, but then show it on the night. And we've had a couple of folks saying, why show the videos? But I think it's really important because, again, it gives a bit of an inspiration piece to others in the room, saying, wow, look at that. Or folks that don't know. I mean, we've had people say, I didn't know. Remember the Jack Altstays lads? Folk were like, I didn't know that that was there, and they've gone and they've holidayed. So, again, it's just to really, raise the
I think, see when you're sitting there on the night and you see these videos, that for me was one of the biggest, like, I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they did that.
I know.
And then you'd go and try and find them when you're with a couple of sherries, so you could say, I think you did great.
I know.
I didn't know you did that.
We launched in, believe it or not, 2010 for the Business Awards. And
15-year-old then?
Well, obviously there was COVID and all that. I want to talk about that. But so it's not quite 15, but we started with 8 categories, I think. Only 8 categories, and we had, it was at the Gales Hotel, and there was only 200 people. So it's grown like year on year, and it's really brilliant to see how much it's grown. And I think, like, when we did the sponsors lunch, remember at Turnberry, the first year we did that, I reflected on the timeline and how it has grown year on year, and was reflecting on why it's important as a chamber to do that. And it's really about, celebrating and recognising achievements, and also supporting to inspire other businesses to become and do better. And I think also it's about, that thing going back to the regional economic strategy. We want Ayrshire to be a great place to live, work, invest and visit. And, this is how we play our part in doing that, because we're showcasing the great businesses that are here. So hopefully in that small way, we're contributing to economic growth and all that by continuing to run the awards. So it's really important that we do continue to do that. And I think it's a good night.
I think anybody that watches the video, and Andrew, what we'd said to Claire is we're going to, so this is where we talk about watching the Joe Rogan thing, because this is where we go Andrew, pull it in.
Do you watch Joe Rogan? And he goes, Jamie, pull that up. It should be Andrew, pull that up.
Andrew, pull that up, and then what you do is you'd be then bringing in the video of the awards night. No, the one that you done where I was feeling Heather's bum.
That's another story.
That's another story,
not for today. Not for today.
But the for me, as I say, I go to a lot of award things, and there's a lot of them that are really, really good. But that is by far the best night I've had, and by a country mile. It was absolutely amazing. Everybody that's there, I think. A lot of the award stuff you go to, it's like across Scotland, right? Or it's across the UK, or you're looking at these kind of awards. This is Ayrshire. Probably 50% of the people in the room know each other. So it's a much more relaxed atmosphere. I mean, everybody's pissed.
Right? But it's really celebratory, isn't it, though? Like, everybody's having a great time. And
everybody's supporting each other.
And happy that, definitely.
I mean, see when every time somebody's going up for an award, obviously, the first 2 or 3 are kind of that everybody's cheering at. See, as the night goes on, everybody's gone bush, right? So see, by you get to the kind of midway through, right? See, when the awards are going up, everybody is just so happy for each other.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's really good. It is. I love it. And we've got Ben Hanlon coming back again. He's like, I just love how he does what he's doing. I don't know. It's amazing. It blows my mind every time. Every time he comes, so he's coming back. So it should be a good night.
I've got a request. Right. So see the Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
Can that be
early on,
right? So as I can just after that I can just relax. I'm not having to worry about standing up there and making an ass of myself when
I'll need to see. I can't remember the order of the awards, but I'm sure we can. Do that.
That would be great. That'd be great, because when I was at when I did my thing it was sponsored something at the Seed Awards.
That's right.
Remember? I remember saying that, because I got to the stage where I was starting to get a wee bit merry, and remember I said to you, I was like, well, I got up here and just make it dead funny. Well, I keep professional. You're like, just keep professional.
No, I said, don't, keep a balance.
But then I went up there and basically just went, if everybody's watching, here's the winners, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't really me, but I was at the stage where I'm saying, I better watch, I don't become too much of me and make a complete fool of myself. But that was so if I can have one request, that'd be it.
Okay, Danielle, remember, I don't know if you're watching, but that's a request for Jamie.
Danielle will be watching, and Danielle, you know I'm your BFF, right? And I love you to bits, right? Yeah. So one thing actually I wanted to say is, see your team, right?
Aye, they're brilliant.
Danielle, I'm going to give a special shout out to, love Danielle to bits, right? I think she's brilliant. Rachel, Lisa, everybody, see Joan, all your whole team. Are awesome.
No, I know. Right. I'm really, really lucky to have such a good team, and they're all so passionate about. I think the Chamber's a really unique place to work. I've never really worked anywhere like it, and I think the Chamber kind of gets into your blood. And no, the team's absolutely fantastic, and they do really care about the businesses that we support and all that. And they do. No, so thanks, a big shout out to all the team.
Yes.
Back at the ranch.
And what I want to say is, because see this, right, and people probably underestimate the work that your team do, right? Obviously, I've got a kind of probably a more of an idea than maybe some others, because I know all the stuff that they organise. But see that, that is a phenomenal amount of organisation. It is, and hopefully, fingers touch wood and all that, that it happens to say again this year that it goes quite seamlessly. Obviously, there's maybe things going on in the background and that, but see from being part of that as a I don't know, we call it a member, a guest, or whatever you want to call it. It's seamless.
Yeah.
And that's done by, it's not as if you've got a team of 100 folk.
No, we do try. It is, I mean, it is a massive thing that we pull off. And I mean, even the organisation into like the awards, like getting all the applications and the logistics of organising like the sponsors, the judges, everybody coming together. I mean, that's massive as well. And that's done by one person, you know, whilst they've got their other job as well. But no, it's massive, and you know, just a big hats off to, you know, to all the team, because they do an exceptional job, and I'm really lucky to have them.
How many folk you got in your?
So 16, but there's like the core kind of membership team, but then you've got the projects. So we've got about 10 core membership team. You know, we've got four in the membership team, but 2 are full-time, 2 part-time. We've got Danielle, who's full-time on events, and Emma, she's part-time. We've got Kate in marketing and comms. I'm going to forget somebody here. We've got Julie, that does international trade. So we are an issuing body for export documentation. So any like goods that are going into another country, we stamp them and things. We've got Katie, finance officer. And I suppose I should shout out Lisa, Joan, Helen and Nicola. They're the membership team. I didn't actual reference them. Katie's a finance officer, and then we've got the education team. So we've got Jill, who's head of projects. Oh my God, this is terrible. Kelsey, Jenna. Oh no, I'm going to forget. So Brooke, Lisa Nielsen, we've got 2 Lisas now, and Laura Gilchrist, who's just joined us recently. We've secured, I think that's everybody, and massive apologies if I have forgotten anybody. We've done a Chamber Choices programme, so we secured funding from North Ayrshire Council to do an employability project. So Laura's just joined us, and we've done, we've just finished the cohort 1 and are recruiting for cohort 2. So if there any young people out there, 16 to 19, that are not in a positive kind of destination, but are quite close to work, then please do guide them to the way of our Chamber Choices, and it's very much driven and delivered by businesses.
So how does that work then? So is that a full-time job or a part-time?
Full-time job. So we're currently recruiting for the next cohort of young people, and Laura is out working with employers to deliver like mock interviews or whatever it might be, and identify like work experience placements. But she works with the young people to try and identify, you know, what are you interested in, and we put them through a whole series of, you know, things to get them better ready for the work.
So who's the new person dealing with that?
Laura Gilchrist.
Right. So could you ask Laura to get in touch with us?
Will do.
Because that's something I'd be keen on try to help we whatever way we can, because back to that's what we're all about, and try to do that. So it sounds really good.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. And just I think I missed a thing about chamber membership as well, just as I'm thinking here. I always say about like the chamber membership, it's a bit like the analogy of like if you pay for a gym membership but never go to the gym, you're not going to get your beach body. So it's kind of the same with with chamber membership. It's very much you get what you get what you put in. There's people join for a variety of reasons. The main reason is like networking. But if you don't come to any events, you're not going to build connections, build relationships, and things like that. We'd sometimes get from, I didn't get anything out of it. But then you're like, well, you didn't really engage at all. You didn't come to things, and that's what I think it's really important to say. Like, just join in. And a lot of people do just join like the chamber because they want to be associated with the chamber, and that's brilliant. But if you do want to develop your business, then you really do need to participate and get involved, and you know, and that's when things happen. And as you say, being in the room, you need to be in rooms and have conversations to, you know, for things to happen. So it's really important when people are joining, then please do keep involved.
Get involved. And it's exactly what I said about the edge. I mean, when people go for the edge, like the money, people are always talking about the money. The money's no, the money will get spent. But you can build relationships that last a long, long time. And I see the chamber exactly the same. Actually, we don't get to as many chamber events as I would like to. And that's what I've actually done is, obviously, Alana and some of the others in my team, I'm now trying to get them to start attending events. So as because it's always just been me, and getting them to attend events because there's so many things that are going on that are good for them. So I know Lorna's been looking at some, Audrey's been looking at some, Alana's been looking at some. So see if we can get them going, because it doesn't always need to be me that goes. And as a business,
and they might get something different
they
out
will,
of it. You know,
100%
like what
will.
you would get. You know, they might learning. And I mean, we've worked really hard on the whole events programme to really, you know, people come to different things, and we've tried to diversify the events programme as much as possible. And we are seeing, you know, like the behind the scenes are bringing a completely different, you know, element of the membership are attending those events because they're seeing that as best practice visits and things. And that's brilliant, because then you're engaging with different people, and that's what people want to do as well. And
your team see it as a development opportunity for them as well, because what you get a lot of the time is, as a business leader, you're out doing all these things. Your folk are sitting in the office or sitting in the pit, and they're just having to go on with their job. So there you go. You just go out and do that, and they're learning from it. It's getting them a day out of the office. It's getting them to interact with people that they probably wouldn't normally interact with.
Yeah.
So I think there's just benefits all round for it. So Audrey, Lorna, Alana, Kelsey, any of you guys want to go to any of the Ayrshire Chamber events? There you go.
We'd love to see you.
Aye, Claire and the team would love to see you. Right, we've spoke our time. I knew that was going to happen. What time do you think it is? How long do you think we've been gone?
I don't know.
An
hour.
Aye, an hour. So that's an hour. Right, that's an hour.
I wouldn't have known.
But it just flies by. Yeah, so?
It does. It does.
So is there any messages you want to go? Is there anything you've missed, you think?
I don't think so. Do you think is there anything you think?
No, I think we covered a lot. I think for me, it was good to start with some of the challenges that we've got, because there's a lot of time on this show we're always talking about the challenges, because the world's full of people kidding on everything's great, right? And with some places, but most places it's not. There is challenges there. But one of the things that I love about the Chamber and what we're trying to do in Ayrshire is there's so many people that are still really positive about it. But there's so many challenges that we've got, but look at all the positive stuff, right? So don't focus on the negative, focus on the positive, and then try and drag the negatives out. And that was what was good. We spoke about the challenges, and then we've now spoke about all the good things. And I would say to any business in Ayrshire, they should be part of the Chamber. And what you said there was really, really key in the fact that, but you only get out what you put in. So if you've got time, or you've got people in your team that you can give time to actually go and attend these events, I will guarantee you that you will get benefit from it. Yeah,
and there's more. I mean, there's much more benefits and services than just the events. But if anybody does want to reach out and understand what that is, then the team would be more than happy to come and see you. But I mean, I think it's just, we really want to collectively work with folk that are wanting to make Ayrshire great again. No, but also like a place to live, work, invest and visit. And I think that is what, you know, we really want to see happening. And if we can collectively do that, then that's what we're all about. So thanks very much for having me on.
No problem. Was it as scary as you thought?
No, probably not once we get talking, but I'll no watch it back, that's for sure.
So Danielle, the guys in the office, you just need to play it on repeat in the background of the telly when Claire comes in. Listen, that was brilliant. I think I'm hoping that the audience, or the people that are watching it, have got a good representation of what we're all about here. Because there is people from all over, and one of the other things that we're trying to do is actively get companies to come and invest in Ayrshire and bring their businesses to Ayrshire. So it's good to talk about all the good things that we're doing. I'll say one thing. One of the businesses that we brought into Ayrshire, they're up against us for an award.
Oh, who's that?
EcoCell.
Oh, right, okay.
So we talked them into coming to Ayrshire. Nobody tried to steal our blind man. So did you see it in a post that says, so there's us, EcoCell and Solutions on Demand, all in the same category. So what we've done is we've agreed that the winner buys the beer. Right.
Good.
So Martin Boyle, Craig McLean, Jamie Glover, Neil Wilson. So I'm putting it back out here so as however many people watch this know that whoever wins that 11 to 50 award is buying the beer.
Brilliant.
Right, thank you very much, Claire.
No, thank you.
It was brilliant. And
nice to see you, as always.
You too. And, well, I'm sure we're going to be seeing each other if you're about.
Very soon. Next week.
Aye. Right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Bye, everybody. Right.